Keep pouring beer and eventually it'll make sense. People are chasing Pokemon around their breweries. Artificial intelligence is brewing beer with algorithms and human feedback. Hopsy debuts a countertop beer designed by the makers of Nespresso. All this while Pabst Brewing quietly revives old beer brands with like nice, slow, concise branding to build an undead army of well-designed, tried and true nostalgic but unobtrusive brands. Welcome to World Beer News. I'm your host, Nitch. I'm drinking this here. Awesome. How good is that? Close my nose a little bit. That's fine. While you're chasing Pokemon around your brewery, why not chase down this beer dispensing photo booth? The Belgian brand Dept, which I've had before, it's okay. They're fine. They're not bad. They're going to be giving drinkers a chance to have their photo taken and converted into a personalized beer mat before being given samples of the beer to try. So there's the extra blonde Pilsner, extra white, and extraordinary IPA. So that's good. Best thing though is that it's free. So if you can find the photo booth, then you get these things for free. So to find it, you need to go on their website, which I have everything linked down below. You can follow along, but it's going to be appearing in London like this weekend. So chase it down. Send me some pictures if you get them. Days when Maori taken for granted aren't over. In Auckland, New Zealand, a brewery called Birkenhead has recently been using the sacred ancestors of the Maori native people on their beer. And local leaders, the elders, have said that they're not exactly happy with the company, mostly because the company didn't go and say anything to them. Didn't give them a chance to talk it out or explain it. The issues kind of came forward, and they say it's a tricky situation because on one hand, they're happy their ancestors are being promoted, but on the other, to be on a product that has caused their people a lot of pain is not really appropriate or respectful. The brewery has not yet commented, so just bad, basically. Just another one of those examples of it's time to grow up. Just be thoughtful. Residents of Beijing, China have been battling rainstorms for the past few days, and I mean rainstorms. Thankfully, this year, no deaths have been reported, unlike in 2012, where 79 people were killed in rainstorm-related deaths. Serious stuff, but this doesn't stop beer lovers who will do anything for a good beer. Check out the Beijinger.com for information on this weekend's beer run and the newest beers available in the city. Our next story comes out of Japan, and you have to read between the lines on this one. Asahi and Suntory settle non-alcoholic beer patent battle. On the face of it all, the companies seem to claim that they've reached harmony, but that's basically just Japanese bullshit. Injunctions always hurt. So speaking with a friend of mine who lived in Japan for quite a long time, there's no notion of someone drinking sparkling water with your colleagues while your colleagues drink beer. You have to at least have a non-alcoholic beer with them. So non-alcoholic beer, defined as less than 1% ABV, has historically not been brewed domestically in Japan. It's always been imported. That changed in 2009 when Kirin developed what they claim to be the first zero ABV or free beer. The branding behind it has been marketed towards housewives and often using fun terms like, natural. This seems to be a patent issue for the two companies, and the case is important because non-alcoholic beer creates vastly more revenue than regular beer because it's not taxed, but the price point is similar. Even with much lower volumes of sales, it's possible that the non-alcoholic beer could be the primary revenue stream for Asahi and Suntory, which I find to be very, very surprising. Non-alcoholic beer may also be the way to go while you're in Singapore. Under a law passed last year and only recently activated, drinking is banned in all public places from 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. Retail shops are not allowed to sell takeaway alcohol as well during these hours. There are stricter rules in the Beijing and Little India areas of the city, which are designated as liquor control zones. They're places of higher risk of public disorder associated with excessive drinking. News as of this morning is a 28-year-old woman, a beer promoter, who was drinking in public during restricted hours 1 month after the new liquor law was kicked into place. So it's just started this past month. She was in a park with a friend drinking, and she ended up hitting a police officer in the nose. From the story posted on straitstimes.com, the beer promoter, which I'm still trying to figure out what that exactly means, was being a public drunk of sorts with her housewife friend. The police officer or officers came and asked the ladies to comply with the law, and the ladies said, "We don't know what you're talking about. We live here. There is no such law. You can just leave us alone." Came back and forth. The police officer ends up getting a bruise on his nose, and the woman gets 12-month probation and a $5,000 fine. Point being, if you live in Singapore or are traveling that way, make sure to brush up on the public drinking laws. Although it seems as if the police will remind you of it if they see you drinking. Newest mobile beer app is Wiki Beer. Wiki Beer wants to be the encyclopedia of beer stats and knowledge. Puts ABV, all your beer stats, availability, the best glassware, and all of that kind of stuff right at your fingertips. But with the recent craze of augmented reality, why leave the information at your fingertips when it can become interactive, like visual, right? Collective Arts Brewing has teamed up with Blipper, which we talked about last week. It's the AR company that is also pairing up with India's largest pub chain. They've also been doing things with Heineken to allow beer lovers a new connection with their beer. So Collective Arts Brewing is like an arts collective that got together, and they have this series of beer that has 90 different beer labels, and the labels are created with artists spanning a range of art. So there's music and film and visual design, and basically you take the Blipped app, you download that, and you wave it over your label, and it gives you in-depth information about the artist and the beer, which is interesting. So as I said before, everything is linked down below, and while you're down there, you can just go ahead and subscribe or like, or just like link this over to your friends who are always wondering where you get your sweet global beer information. Yeah, that's here. Okay, so the big news, and I know it's like everywhere, ABI and SABMiller have been granted their merger, and everyone's freaking out because it's like just watching two evil forces join together, and it's a big deal. It is, and we should all keep an eye on it. So there are two great articles from The Consumerist that if you want to just glance over them, that is going to give you the best amount of concise information for what's going on. So there's two. It's called How America's Two Signature Beer Companies Became Expats, and they kind of go about the history of both Anheuser-Busch and SABMiller, involving a lot of information about their mergers, including the cigarette companies. And then the other one is the mega merger gets Justice Department okay, and Miller agrees to sell all U.S. brands. So, yikes. As we've seen, being under the beer baron umbrella doesn't always mean that you have the best practice or that everything you have is going smoothly. More recalls. Under that as well, which is interesting, is Terrapin Brewery just joined the ranks of the breweries like Blue Moon and Leinenkugel and St. Archer, and they're now going to be working under a side point of Miller Coors, the 10th and Blake Beer Company. So 10th and Blake Beer Company is the import and craft division of Miller Coors. Now Terrapin is underneath that little umbrella. Whatever that means for them, good luck and God bless in the epic battle that is our global beer wars. But you can just keep things nice and at home. Natasha, the meta cook at metacookbook.com, is suggesting that we all do a beer trade. And when I say we, I mean you guys, because it's the States. So hashtag TT4Others. She's suggesting that you sign up. If you go to her website, it's going to be linked right down below. I mentioned that I link it, right? Yeah, good. You can go and sign up and be part of the really big beer trade. I think it's going to be really awesome. It's a really great idea. So sign up by the end of July 31st, and she hopes to get everything kind of organized and set by the 8th, and then first round will be going out. So I look forward to seeing that. But I mean, face it, not everybody can just be trading beer all the time. Wouldn't it be better if we just installed a giant button in our office that would not only have a beer waiting for us at our local pub when we want it, but would give us a free taxi ride? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, wait. So this Czech beer brand has decided they're going to go ahead and do that, and you can sign up for it. They're looking for companies that they refer to as beer button bashers. So you can sign up for that by hashtagging push for pub. Basically, the button will arrange for a taxi to pick you up and transport you from the office, because they want you to do it after work, to a pub, and when you get there, you and your friend, the beer will be waiting, their beer, which is this Czech beer, which I've never had. Maybe it's good. I don't know, but it's really gimmicky. Fun, though. Let me know if you guys get any other global news. It's sometimes hard for me to sift through writing about beer news in languages that I don't speak, because that's kind of hard. So I'm always looking for interesting things, or if you speak different languages and you want to help contribute, I'm totally down for that, because I want things that are kind of relevant to the whole global scale of beer, not just like beer releases, although I know everyone's excited for the next Game of Thrones beer. No, really, I don't. It's interesting nonetheless. So, cheers. Have a great day. Merci. Au revoir.